Let me be honest with you. The fact that you've decided to dive into this video shows that you're ready for something bigger. Maybe you've been searching for answers about who you are or why certain patterns keep showing up in your life. If that's the case, I want to congratulate you, because what you're about to discover will completely shift how you understand yourself and the world around you. This discovery by Carl Jung isn't just another self-help idea. It's a revelation, a profound insight into the human psyche that has transformed lives for decades. What you'll learn here goes beyond the surface. It's about tapping into something deep within you, something that connects you to a larger collective wisdom and helps you break through personal limitations. By the time you're done, you'll not only understand why Jung's discovery is so powerful, but you'll also have practical ways to apply it in your life. And that's the real difference. You won't just be reading, you'll be experiencing the transformation for yourself. Let's dive into the hidden knowledge that can unlock the potential you never knew existed. But before we go deeper, I need to show you something even more surprising. This insight could change how you see your life entirely. Ready for the first revelation? Let me take you there. The Hidden Revelation by Carl Jung that changes everything. Before I explain the depths of Jung's discovery, let's start with the foundation. Imagine this. Throughout your life, you've been guided by invisible forces, unconscious drives, patterns, and symbols that you can't fully explain. You may have felt them as instincts or gut feelings. But what if I told you there's a deeper reason behind these influences? Carl Jung's revolutionary idea of the collective unconscious reveals that our minds aren't just shaped by our personal experiences. We're also deeply connected to a vast, shared reservoir of knowledge that transcends time, culture, and even our individual identities. This hidden layer is filled with universal symbols called archetypes, which shape everything from your dreams to the roles you play in life. Think of these archetypes as the blueprints of the human experience. They are ancient symbols, like the hero, the shadow, the wise old man, that exist in every culture, influencing how we act, think, and relate to others. When you begin to recognize these archetypes within yourself, you gain the ability to navigate life with greater awareness. Instead of being pushed around by unconscious forces, you start to take control. But here's the catch. Most people never see these patterns at play. They go through life unaware of the deeper forces shaping their decisions, often feeling stuck or repeating the same mistakes. Jung's discovery opens the door to breaking free from this cycle. By understanding and embracing these archetypes, you unlock a hidden potential within yourself. A potential that's been lying dormant, waiting to be awakened. So what does this mean for you? It means that the answers you've been seeking are not outside of you, but within. They've been there all along, just beneath the surface, waiting for you to tap into them. And once you do, you'll realize that this revelation is the key to transforming your life, unlocking your creativity, your relationships, and your personal growth. I'll summarize what you've learned now. Carl Jung's discovery of the collective unconscious and archetypes shows that our minds are connected to a deeper universal knowledge. Archetypes, such as the hero and the shadow, influence how we think and act, often without us realizing it. By recognizing and working with these archetypes, you gain control over unconscious patterns and open the door to self-awareness and personal growth. The hidden challenge: why we ignore our own potential. Now that you know about Jung's discovery of archetypes, let's dive deeper into why most people never tap into this power. Despite these universal forces being present in every aspect of our lives, we often remain blind to them. The truth is, the majority of us are completely unaware of the roles these archetypes play in shaping our thoughts, behaviors, and decisions. But why? The reason lies in one of the most significant barriers to self-awareness: our unconscious mind. Most people live their lives on autopilot, allowing the unconscious to steer them without ever stopping to ask why they do the things they do. This lack of introspection causes us to overlook the powerful archetypes influencing us. We become trapped in recurring patterns, unaware that they are driven by forces buried deep within. One of the most profound concepts Carl Jung explored is the idea of the shadow. The shadow represents the parts of ourselves that we reject, deny, or suppress. These are the traits we consider undesirable, our fears, our weaknesses, our darker impulses. The irony is, the more we try to ignore or hide our shadow, the more control it has over us. It's like a hidden puppet master, shaping our actions from behind the scenes. Many are afraid to face their shadow because it requires looking at uncomfortable truths about ourselves. We would rather cling to the image we've created, the persona we show to the world, than admit there are parts of us we'd rather not see. This is why so many people feel stuck or held back in life. They are at war with themselves, constantly suppressing what they fear, rather than confronting and integrating it. But here's the key. The path to unlocking your full potential lies in embracing your shadow, not rejecting it. Once you acknowledge those hidden parts of yourself, you can begin to work with them, instead of against them. This is where the real transformation happens. It's about bringing your unconscious motivations into the light, recognizing the archetypes at play, and using them to live more authentically. The first step is having the courage to look inward, to face what you've been avoiding. Start by recognizing the archetypes that have been influencing your life, and accept that your shadow, no matter how daunting, is a part of you. Only then can you begin the process of integration, leading to a more empowered and authentic existence. Summarizing, most people remain unaware of the influence archetypes have on their lives because they neglect introspection. Jung's concept of the shadow represents the parts of ourselves we fear or deny, and ignoring it gives it more power over us. The first step to personal growth is having the courage to face the shadow and integrate it, allowing us to live more authentically. Now that you've taken the first step and begun to see the forces that have been shaping you, the next question is, how do you fully integrate this new awareness into your life? Recognizing the shadow is one thing, but how can you use this knowledge to finally break free from the patterns that have been holding you back? In the next part, we'll dive into the exact methods you can use to turn this awareness into action. Once you understand these steps, you'll be able to take control of your life in ways you never thought possible. Get ready, because the next piece is the key to transforming everything. Let's move forward. The root cause, what really holds us back from embracing our true selves. Now that you've uncovered the power of archetypes and begun to understand the shadow, the question remains, why do so many of us resist facing these hidden parts of ourselves? The answer goes deeper than fear or discomfort. It's rooted in how we've been conditioned to live. From an early age, society teaches us to focus on what is socially acceptable. We create a persona, the mask we wear to navigate the world. This persona is the polished, acceptable version of ourselves, carefully shaped by expectations from family, friends, and society. But while we strengthen this mask, we simultaneously suppress the parts that don't fit into that image. We ignore our shadow because it doesn't align with the person we think we're supposed to be. This disconnect between who we truly are and who we present to the world is what causes so much inner tension. The more we deny these hidden parts, the more fragmented we become. And this fragmentation shows up in our lives as dissatisfaction, anxiety, or feeling stuck in patterns that seem impossible to break. The irony is that the things we suppress often hold the key to our growth and potential. But because they don't fit into the perfect image we've created, we push them deeper into the unconscious. So what keeps you from fully embracing who you are? It's this fear of letting go of the persona and facing what lies beneath. Most people remain trapped in this cycle of suppression, fearing that if they confront their shadow, it will overwhelm them. But the truth is, the opposite happens. Once you bring these hidden aspects to light, they no longer control you. You begin to integrate them, and in doing so, you become more whole, more authentic, and more powerful. Steps for integration. Acknowledge the persona. Start by recognizing the mask you've created. What parts of yourself have you exaggerated or hidden to fit into societal expectations? Identify the shadow. Look at the traits, desires, or fears you've been suppressing. Ask yourself, what parts of me have I been avoiding? These may show up in your emotional reactions, your dreams, or the patterns you repeat in relationships and decisions. Work with archetypes. Understand which archetypes are influencing you the most. Are you operating from the hero who feels the need to constantly prove their worth, or the lover who fears rejection? Identifying these patterns is the key to transforming them. Embrace the shadow. Rather than fighting these hidden parts, learn to accept them. They are part of who you are, and by integrating them, you unlock a deeper level of self-understanding. You don't have to be perfect, and accepting your imperfections allows you to move forward with more clarity and strength. Now that you've seen the root cause of what holds you back and understand how to start the process of integration, you're probably asking yourself, what's the practical way to use this knowledge in everyday life? How can you apply these insights to change your decisions, relationships, and mindset starting today? The answers lie in the next steps, taking this newfound awareness and turning it into a concrete action plan.